fast. And now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Message is.
You feel that now? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future. So if I pull the trigger in the past, you know you and your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped. That's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow sticks. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the menace when my pen touches the pad. Niggas is mad, but the ladies is glad. Yo, they rubbing up against me like this nigga is rad. Fucking two divas, drinking on sangria. I got the beam of the color diarrhea. Tire strings in my feet cause I'm so fly. Hopped out the DeLorean, it's Artie McFly.
The longest intro. Didn't I deliver and promise the longest intro you've ever seen to
Yes, sir.
a podcast or a show?
It's good.
Welcome to the Rick H Show, everybody!
Hey!
Jasmine is here. She's back. She's back.
Here.
Back
What's up, y'all?
and attacking people and everything else she does. Today, I'm super happy because I got, not only do I have Quien, Eres, you guys know, Pabel Martinez is here. I also have Wine Chisme. I'm hoping she's got a little chisme for us. I know she's got some wine. Jessica's here. And also, word to your mama. Ooh, ooh. It's so dope because we're all part of the same network. And I'm going to be able to talk about Latina podcasters, Latino pods, each show, and you guys. So very excited, very interested. I want to start with the wine and the chisme. Jessica, put us on. What's going on? Tell us about the show. Why should people listen to your pod? Give us the guest you don't want to interview that you interviewed. Give us.
It's chisme, not being mean.
I mean, come on, there's something.
Chisme is inherently mean. You're not like, it's not blessing time. It's chisme time.
Yeah, it's like that nice mean where I'm like, who I would least like to, who I would, one of those things. But yeah, of course I have wine. I can't like be a wine and chisme and not have wine.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm drinking. The Wine and Chisme Podcast is just a podcast. We are now over 100 episodes. Celebrating 2 years in February. I know. I launched. Like 3 weeks before the pandemic. So it's not like that was one of those pandemic happened, let me do something. It was right before. I had no idea. And initially I launched because I kept seeing like a lot of siloed podcasts, right? Like for Latinos, for African Americans, but I never saw anything that like combined all of us and talked about all of the issues that we have. So, and that I wanted it to reflect my friends. I have a lot of Asian friends, I have a lot of Black friends, I have a lot of Latino friends. So I wanted it to reflect my friendships. So it basically became a podcast to amplify voices across communities of color. So the way I do chisme is I tell the people they get to spill the chisme on themselves. So it's not like Tia's chisme where you're being like, hey, what's up with that? Oh my God, can you believe her or not?
Yeah.
It's really more about like the guest sharing their story, sharing their journey, where they want to go. And then within that, I'm buying all this wine and everything, and I'm thinking, there has to be Latino winemakers. Like you think agriculture, people think Latinos, right? Particularly Mexicans. And I'm thinking there has to be Latino winemakers. And I was searching, I kept searching, like the same 10, 15 wineries kept coming up. And I just started digging and I found the Mexican American Vintners Association. I met up with them in Napa. I started digging and then it just became this passion for amplifying Latino wine brands based in the US because people think of Valle de Guadalupe or they think of Chile or they think of Argentina. They think of all these other places, but people don't think of Latino wineries based in the US. So that kind of became a passion of mine. And then I ended up creating the very first directory of Latino wine brands based in the US. So kind of goes hand in hand, right? Like people get to spill the chisme. We talk about wine. I'm still learning about wine. I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh.
Red or white?
Know everything.
So red or white? Are you a red? I mean, you're drinking red right now. So
I'm drinking red right now. You know what? It really depends because I used to say
you're a real wine drinker because when it's a wine drinker, they won't tell you, no, I'm just a white wine person. I'm just a red wine. No, it depends on the mood, the timing, the food, the conversation, the flow. So
yes, no, but it does. And here's the thing. I will not ever tell. I get so many people like, oh, I'm so embarrassed to tell you what wine I'm drinking. First of all, we all have different taste buds. I don't like chocolate. People think I'm weird because I don't like chocolate, right? Yeah,
really?
that's usually the reaction I get.
It helps open the palate with oh my God.
Yeah, wine and chocolate is quite the pairing.
Yes.
They're not supposed to go together technically. They're not actually supposed to go together. People just like wine and chocolate, so people do it, but it's not a natural pairing.
Well, Argentine wine has a tinto. Is their only red because Long Island is known for their white wines. And you were going to answer your question about which wine is your favorite, but when I did a tasting a month and a half ago, they actually paired the tinto with chocolate, and it just really added like another dimension to that wine. And it's my favorite red that I'm having right now. So
I've had that one. We did a virtual wine tasting with them in November of last year. And I actually still have one of their bottles, the only bottle I have left of theirs. I still have it because it's a sparkling wine and I don't want to just bust it open by myself because the bubbles get to your head and you're like, I got to do that with somebody else.
So we're trapping you on an island and you can only take a red or a white.
Lordy, why do you do that to me?
It's a case. It's just one case. Come on.
One case of wine?
Yeah. Red or white. You can only have a red or white.
I probably would take red.
Okay. P?
Here we go.
Pinot Noir to be specific.
You would take Pinot Noir? I wouldn't take Pinot Noir. I would take either one of two wine as of right now. Okay, because every time I taste a wine, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite right now. So you go through phases. So Lorio Family Wines, they have a reserve Cabernet that is like, I have a wine thing that you can just pour by the glass. You don't have to pull. It's called a Coravin. You don't have to pull the entire cork out. And I was saving it so hard because I only had one bottle and it was so good. And they're out of Napa. And then the other one would be Soltera by Seis Soles Wine out of Lodi. That would probably be the other one that I would like. Those are my two favorites right now.
It will be a Pinot Noir for me, and if I can't have that, I'll have a Melback. Ritzy, are you a wine drinker? You're stuck in an island, no? What would you take?
A whiskey.
Ooh,
I do love whiskey too.
Yeah, wine. I tried different ones, but it just I don't know. I get headaches and stuff, and I've tried all kinds. The closest is this New Zealand one. I forget what it's called. It's this organic
Sauvignon
New Zealand
Blanc.
one. And it's I forget what kind it is, but it's super
Probably
good.
Sauvignon
It's
Blanc.
all
They're
right.
that's what they're known for.
Yeah, and
I'm not
that's
a
it.
New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs because they're too grapefruit forward, and I hate grapefruit. And that's
That's
Me
my
why.
too.
only
This
white
one's
wine.
grapefruit forward, but I like it. I mean, I don't drink it all
Yeah,
the time.
that's why I say like everybody has a different palate. That's
Yeah.
you're proving my whole point, right?
I'm
And
getting
the
a
people
Cabernet on that island.
Jazz, that was my next. What about you? You stuck Cabernet?
I love a good Cabernet. I like a
Mm.
bold, heavy red wine.
You like those California cabs then? Those bold
Yeah, I
cabs.
do love the California cabs.
California.
I do like
dream.
also international wine though, but it's a little lighter. But I do like it still. I'm
I
not
always tell people
choosy.
if you're starting off with a red, try a Beaujolais because it's usually pretty light. It's lighter than a Pinot Noir.
Mm.
They're really good.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to try that. That sounds fancy. Beaujolais.
She dropped a ton of
It's just a
wine
region of
knowledge
French.
on
It's
you
a
right
red version.
Oh,
So
can I please have the Beaujolais?
So we also have Ritzy here from A Word to Your Mama. Tell us a little bit about your show, and it's the beer. I'm sorry. So yeah, I drink beer and wine. That's my thing now. Slow down on the heavy alcohol.
No whiskey for you, or a whiskey
I'm
ginger?
a whiskey. No. So I'm a whiskey person. Like if I'm doing hard alcohol, it's gonna be whiskey. It's gonna be scotch. Preferably anything Japanese. So Ibiki, Centauri, Yamasaki, the 12 years is one of my favorite. So if I'm doing whiskey, that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Fancy.
So Word to Your Mama, what is that? Like
Word to Your Mama. It's a podcast about me, a Latina mama, and my super dope, diverse, multicultural tribe. I have mad guests, mad laughs, but no BS. And I come from the music industry, the art industry, and the designer vinyl toy world. So I have people from, all walks of life, mostly of color. And similar to Jessica over there, it's about just starting something to hear stories of people that, like, totally lots of alcohol talk.
It's a lot of Latinos in here. What you would,
you know what I mean? We're professional. It's just a lot of, I wanted to, originally it was supposed to be, the name was supposed to be just a not a podcast, a blog, because I started homeschooling back in the days, and everyone was like super religious, no one was secular, and if there were Latina moms, which was hella rare, they were like,
she dropped the LA word right there. Hello.
So anyways, it evolved to this, and then I just have people from all walks of life, that different industries, like Academy Award winning you producers and directors and activists and stuff like that. I have occasional Caucasians. I call them quality Caucasians. So if they're on my show, they're quality Caucasians. So this week's episode, it's real. I keep it really real. And this week's episode that just dropped on Monday is my fam, Sket One. He's from money craving, pistol waving, New Haven, Connecticut. Dope graph artist. And so he was on there, and it's rare, but he's quality Caucasian. So that's Word to Your Mom in a nutshell.
And Pete, I mean, we had you on, but just
Jay, the way you said that.
He's my guy, though. He's my guy. You know what? He's my guy because I think I said this before, but at the dinner, because I had listened to his show. I wouldn't say religiously because I'm not that religious, but consistently. And it just so happened we were at the same Latin podcast dinner type of thing that Ray Martin did for us. And I got to meet him there. And then from then, like, we've been talking. So I really like what he brought to the table. Pete, tell us a little bit about Plural, the brand, first of all. And let's discuss that Plural and Quien Eres are two different entities, because a lot of people sometimes get it confused.
Yeah, it's a marketing challenge that I'm still trying to figure out, honestly. But Plural is supposed to be the parent brand, and Quien Eres is one of the brands under it. So Quien Eres, the podcast or the show, it's really I mean, the Plural as a whole, the mission is to redefine professionalism, because I've been in tech for like 10 plus years. And even before I started working, I was trained to believe that so many parts of my identity were unprofessional, right? I mean, when my grandfather growing up literally would tell me, and I get why he did it, right? He was trying to protect me from people's negative perceptions, right? But he would tell me, do you see presidents, CEOs with beards and do-rags and earrings and tattoos, right? And I'd be like, oh shit, nah, right? So in my mind, indirectly, he was also telling me that in order to be successful, I had to be more white. So I carry that with me. But what I'm trying to do with the show, is really show people examples of Latinos, Latinas being themselves and being successful at work, so that if they are having a conversation with their grandfather or their family, they can point to maybe not presidents and CEOs, but actually I do have CEOs on the podcast, but they can point to episodes on my podcast and say like, no, like these people are being themselves and they're thriving in their careers. So that's what the podcast is.
I mean, we could give an example right now. So you had a judge on your pod, and she has some fire tattoos on her arms, and she decided to post a photo showing her sleeves. And her story is that, you know, growing up, I heard the same thing: no earrings, no tattoos. Beards was also a big no-no. Clean cut, clean shaven, 2 inches above the collar in the back. So it was like assimilation. So, Jessica, growing up, did you hear something like that?
All the time, because I have big curly hair, right?
Yeah.
And I would get made fun of. I would hear, like, there's other subtle things that would happen that I noticed when I was a kid. Like, for example, let me just say Julia Roberts. She's not Latina, but she has curly hair or had curly hair, right? When she was like in Pretty Women. But when she hit it super big, all of a sudden her hair was always straight. Same with Nicole Kidman. So like any like big actress or musician you would see that came out with curls, as soon as they like hit a certain level,
Mr. Curly,
then their hair was always straight. And and that would always like make me upset, because I'm like, what's wrong? Like, it made me feel like there was something wrong with me, right? Because, oh no, now you've reached a certain level, you can't have curly hair anymore. Same with like, I don't know if you guys ever watched that show Millionaire Matchmaker a long time ago, and she would always tell the girls with curly hair to straighten their hair.
And Bravo Television.
Yes. Like, oh, you have beautiful curls, but men don't like curly hair. You need to straighten that. It looks too messy. And we're constantly bombarded with these things. And then I'm, you know, I have a big personality. I'm really loud. I've been called abrasive, when this is just in my family. If you're not loud, you're not heard. Right? Like,
oof, girl, you are preaching. Yes. In my family, you're not allowed to be shy. I had a nephew that was shy, and no, they were like, open your mouth. You say whatever. You say hello. You talk. You have a conversation. Like, you're literally not allowed to be shy in my family.
Yeah. So it's like, so there was multitude of things. It wasn't maybe not necessarily like have your hair a certain length, but it was things that I would see from other people, like from the media and from everyday, like those things I would get more than anything. And then I would, you know, ask my mom to do. I tried everything to get my hair straight. Thankfully, none of it worked for more than like a week, right? And I would get, but it's made me proud of who I am. Like, I had a booty before booties were in, right? But I will say this: I was not ever ashamed of that, because I don't know. Maybe it was just in our. You know, in our
booty's always been in for us.
Exactly. Never had a smile.
And Jennifer Lopez comes out. I'm like, I've been having this booty. Yes, I've been having this booty. But I just think that for women, especially for young girls, especially, right? It just doesn't always come from the family. It comes from the things that we're watching. Your friends, like all of those things. I think it makes even more of an impact, because you feel like somebody that looks like maybe has, believe me, I know I don't look like Julia Roberts, but the one thing I had in common with the curly hair, as soon as anybody reached any significant amount of success, it went away. And that girls notice those things. Like, young girls notice those things, Because when you see somebody that has a trait that you would get made fun of, and you see somebody like getting really famous and rocking the same thing, and then is gone, you notice that, and it has an impact.
So I Pavel on the podcast also talked about he would study white culture. Ritzy and Jessica and P, you could chime in on this. Did you guys find yourself like when you were in a corporate space or any type of job, literally looking at things? Like, I'm be honest with you, Friends was not a show that I found particularly funny. It was decent. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. And Seinfeld I like because I like Larry David. I like his sense of humor. But I found myself watching things or reading things or listening to music that I really wasn't crazy about. So now, like today at work, I was talking about Bad Bunny, and believe it or not, there was a few people at work that don't know who that is.
That's crazy. That's
They
crazy.
didn't know who that is?
Yes.
Dang.
So I had to enlighten them and put them on. I mean, they're quality Caucasians, like Ritzy said.
Are they? If they don't know Bad Bunny, I don't know.
Quality might lack a little.
Questionable.
So, I mean, P, you could talk about your experience. And Ritzy, did you find yourself doing the same thing, something similar, where you kind of like you're forced to assimilate? God bless you, Rick. I can't stand.
Nah. The Seinfeld is amazing. I used to not
I
like it, but I never.
No, I
listened
like
it.
Seinfeld. Friends is one.
I love Seinfeld.
I could live without it,
Oh, I used to lie on a daily basis about what I did in my personal life. Like, I mean, every Monday morning, it's like, what did you do this weekend? Like, I didn't, for years, I never told anybody, like, oh yeah, I was uptown Manhattan, smoking hookah, popping bottles, dancing bachata, all that kind of stuff. I lied. I would be like, oh, I went to Soho. Oh my God, this amazing brunch place. I would like legit look up places on Yelp that I wouldn't even go to, but I would keep in the back of my head as a lie that I can say in the future. You know what I mean? I mean, I would binge watch shows like Riverdale instead of watching shit that I wanted to watch.
No,
I watched like 3 seasons.
Me neither.
Riverdale.
That's extra credit. That's a lot.
But it's just because I wanted, because listen, the way you advance in corporate is not because of the skills you have, it's because of the relationships you build, right? Because at a certain extent, everyone has the same skills at a certain extent. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be invited to the dinners, to the happy hours, to all those things. And I'm not going to be invited if I'm not relatable.
This is what I've done wrong my whole corporate life, because I've just been like, I can't do that now. Maybe I should have done more of that, but I can't. I just can't force myself to do those things that I really can't stand.
Yeah.
I did also notice the people that
he was just doing research. I agree. That's
yes,
just
he was. But he was doing his research. I also really noticed that the people I always gravitated to were always other people of color, like always other Latinos, always Black friends, Asian friends, Latino friends. Those were the people I was always gravitated to. And the people that helped me in my corporate journey were Black women. So
that holds true for me too. But usually when I found another Dominican in my space, they always viewed me as competition. Ergo, would not want to. It happens. Like I want to see you succeed, but I don't want to see you succeed more than me.
Yeah, I feel like that idea
that's what I've
is
encountered.
Like, that plagues the community, like all across the board. Like crabs in a barrel.
Crabs in a barrel, for sure. Like, nope, can't get too far.
They're trying to be the token Dominican, and that's cool. I didn't want to be the token Dominican. I just wanted to be me. But that's what I found.
I was gonna say, hopefully that stuff doesn't happen with podcasting as well, because there's so much bread out there to eat that we can all eat from.
There's enough pie for everybody.
That's why this is amazing right now.
Everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has a different voice. Everybody has a different, we limit ourselves by gatekeeping who should be by gatekeeping the culture, right?
Yeah.
Like how many what I hate the phrase the no sabo thing that's been going on.
Oh my God, I fight against that.
The no sabo kid, I want to punch them in their face.
Wait, explain this to me. I'm too old for these
so
things.
No sabo person is somebody who doesn't I would be technically considered a no sabo person because family is not my first language.
Wait, because
My
you what?
Spanish is not perfect, so people will be
You're
like,
not
"Oh, you're a no
fluent.
sabo kid," but without realizing, my parents' first language was Spanish, and they grew up here, and they would get in trouble for speaking Spanish, like hit.
Same. That's what
They
happened to
do-
me, that generation. Yeah.
And so when me and my sisters come along, they don't want us to deal with the same challenges.
Exactly.
So they were English first in the house, thinking, "Oh,
Wow.
we'll speak Spanish." So all the Spanish things that they would teach us all had to do with cooking and cleaning.
Same.
Seriously.
Same.
We got something similar in the Dominican culture. If you're like, because I was born here, but I was raised over there, but I was still viewed as a Dominican York, you know, and I'm not completely Dominican. I'm just a piece of Dominican. Like I could rep us here, but not over there in the island.
Yeah.
Like you're, oh no, it's the same thing. I know Puerto
Yeah.
Ricans.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
That's all.
I always
all
tell
of us.
people, I'm like, if you give hate towards the no sabo kids, then you don't really understand the history of why they even exist in the first place.
Exactly.
Because it's actually really sad. So maybe you should just give some encouragement to the kids who are actually learning Spanish, trying to speak Spanish, and to the ones that don't. I don't think it makes them. It does not diminish who they are. And
let me tell you, I can probably outcook most of them anyways.
Yeah, I'm just like, the culture is, yes, language is a huge part of it, but it's so much more than only language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't take away from my Latinidad that I did a TikTok and I was getting so much hate because I thought I was doing a semi-decent job with rolling the R's, you know what I mean? And I was getting the hate.
Really?
And it was, and I was like, I put the comments and I was like, it's really crazy that it's interesting that the most hate, like the most mean comments were from my own people, from the community. And it's just like, but there were some that were like, well, it's pronounced like this. And it's like, let's lift each other up. And but the vitriol though, like the stuff I was getting is like, why are you mad? Like, I'm trying. And the way I look, I still get, hate crimes. I still get, racially profiled. Like, I don't understand the hate of like, like, and then I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, let's help each other.
I also got flamed online once. Not flamed, but I made a video on TikTok about how, we need to like come together, because at the end of the day, like, you are Puerto Rican no matter where you're born. What matters is like you bringing the culture with you. Not to like, and listen, there are some Puerto Ricans that don't bring the culture with them, and to those, I'm just like, I don't know, I don't have an answer. I'm not freaking like Puerto Rican God over here. But we're all one people, and so to give love to that, and someone was like, nah, you're not one of us. You weren't born on the island. And I'm like, obviously we're different. Like,
wow,
I'm not running in a junque with no shoes on, yo. My tour guide was running through a junque with no shoes. And I'm just like, oh, you different. So yes, we're different, but we still Puerto Rican, like I still throw down some rice and beans, I petting it up over here. We salsa over here. Don't come for me.
Wow.
So Rick, I want to share something that you might, I don't know if we're the same age. I might be the oldest one on here. But when last summer, when In the Heights came out, and there was
that's a
backlash in regards to it. And I get it. Look, I am not from New York. I've never been to Washington Heights. Like, I don't know what it looks like, right? So me, as somebody who's never been, would look at that and be like, oh, and probably think that's the representation, right? And then you see right. No, I know. I get that, right? So there's obviously some very valid criticism that goes on with that. On the flip side of that, there was so many people saying, I'm not going to see it. This doesn't represent the Heights. This isn't blah, blah, blah. But that's the challenge is you can criticize and also support. Like, they don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Right.
Because I grew up in a time that we had zero representation. My heroes, my Latina heroes, were like, I found out Wonder Woman was half Mexican. I was like, oh my gosh, Wonder Woman.
Super hyped.
Yeah.
Super hyped.
Linda Carter, yeah.
And Rita Moreno, like,
there was actually a ton of, there was a ton. So the Ramones were all Latino. And there was a lot of rock stars that were Latinos, but had to change their name because mainstream media would not support them. So there was representation, but it just was like the same
But it was
thing.
it all had to be hidden unless you dug it up. It,
Yeah,
you know what I
people
mean? Like the
changing their
general
last
public did not
names.
know.
It's like Pabel's podcast is like, if P existed in that time, he would be trying to break down that wall where, if your name is Ricky, if your name is Ricky Freddie Prince, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Somebody
Freddie.
wrote Freddie Prince.
Oh, I went to school with Freddie Prince Jr.
Oh, you did?
Ooh, he's
She's
cute.
all that.
Super cute.
Let me just say this: when he first came out, I didn't know who he was. This was in Albuquerque. I lived in Albuquerque for less than 2 years. He was a year ahead. And I didn't know who Freddie Prince was. I didn't know who Freddie Prince Jr. was. I mean, I knew him as like, hey Freddie, hey Jessica. Like I wasn't like, we were acquaintances, friendly acquaintances. And when he blew up and was on these talk shows, he used to say he was not popular, and I was like, boy, please.
Why
are you lying? Why are you lying? You were so popular.
It's
I didn't know who didn't
PR.
know you.
It's this PR person. They give you a story, a script.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we all got a story.
Yeah.
You were not.
Pete, do you get backlash for your show? I mean, do you get that? Like, especially
Yeah, and
when
are you still in corporate America? And are you still,
no, he's not. He's not.
What you doing? What's up?
You know he's not.
Nah,
that life.
I quit. I think I quit. My last day was February 25th, so it's been a few months. But I'll tell you this thing: not a day goes by where I don't think about applying.
Wow.
It's
is
tough.
it the steady drip
Entrepreneur life
of
is
a
tough.
big paycheck? Is that what you miss? The IV drip.
Yeah.
The IV drip.
I mean,
I heard your episode. I heard your episode. You were making bank.
And he's taking care of his mom Dukes too.
Yeah,
like,
and that's gold to take care of your mom.
That's the goal. That's everybody's end goal, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like vacations that like people be hitting me up about. I'm like, I gotta save up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
different.
Do I invest in fun or do I invest in the business? Unfortunately, and a lot of what I'm getting paid for is kind of like it's not. Matter of fact, so entrepreneurship is interesting too because I've been running the business kind of like as a hobby and growing. It's been growing, but now like because it's been a hobby and I haven't needed the money, I haven't been prioritizing money. So now I have to like all of a sudden start like popping out revenue. You know what I mean? And trying to figure like what is my product and also like what do I want to go build with this? Because I don't like the podcast with me is really just like a research project for what I want to build in the future. So also dedicating time to like not focus on revenue and just think, you know what I mean? And dream about kind of like what I want to build. So that's kind of like a lot of what I've been doing, but it's exciting though. But
it's a balance.
Also, a day doesn't go by or I don't think about applying.
You're not too far removed from it. I've been doing this since 2006 and I've written all the waves. And when I left, I go, it's gonna be hard. And when I left, it was right before the recession, and I had clients right away, and I was like, this is amazing. And then that recession hit, and I was like, what the F is happening? And it's up and down, and it's I've been so far removed from it now. There's moments when the pandemic came, I was like, what can I do? Like, where can I fit in? Because live music clients are all my clients, but you'll get to a point, Pabel, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? When you find your groove, you're still so, you're not too far removed. When you find your groove, you're going to be like, what? This is amazing. Even when you're not like balling out of control, just that freedom, to do things and collaborate and be in control of your stuff. I mean, just hearing your story on how like you're being like micromanaged and not being respected. I mean,
996.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll get there for sure.
I mean, for one thing, the mental health improved like automatically.
Oh, that's gold.
Of course. I mean,
that's priceless.
Luckily, I went away with a decent savings account. Like, so I'm good for now. Even if I make even if I don't make a penny, for at least minimum till the end of the year, and then that was my plan. Is for like till the end of the year and try to figure it out. But I mean, I feel good about it. It's just the anxieties.
Yeah.
Don't go back.
Don't go back.
You're a couple months away from you're in a good spot, man. I think I told you this way back when. I told you you're in a good spot and people are noticing, people behind the scenes, people talk, and your name does come up a lot. So you're there, bro. Just believe
Stay
me.
the
Even
course.
like me, I want to
Pablo
quit this shit every day. Every day.
working really hard. I remember when he was like, "How do I get just that?" And he is just blowing up. I'll send him text messages every once in a while. I'm like, "Dang, look at my friend blowing up!" And he just,
I mean, just
you
look
know,
at some of the people you've been getting on the show, and some of the people that are interested in being on the pod too. Like my community keeps me going, right? Like if I don't want to say his name, but if one of my closest boys, he hits me up and he's like, "Yo, Rick, proud of you, keep going." People like some of my peers, that keeps me going. Um, and then it doesn't it helps that little lady named Rita Batista came and
Yes. Shout out
yeah.
to Rita. I mean,
uh,
holding us all down, and with her help,
mhm.
you know.
It was something that I was a little because I tried to launch a network last year.
Mm.
It was very difficult, and I only had 6 shows plus this one. So I was a little not skeptic, but a little apprehensive from doing it, and um, I had a conversation with her, and I just jumped feet first, and then I was like, "Oh, yo, P, yo, Jerry, yo." So I started pulling people that I knew. There's still a few more people we should bring in that I feel I'm gonna say right now. I don't know if Rita's listening or watching, but there's a
Hopefully.
couple more people that we could pull in and to help grow this network. And you guys, when I saw Latina podcasters and where you guys are at, this is year 2, I think, for you guys, right? Year 2 or
I've been with Latina podcasters before any of this.
yeah.
So like literally from the beginning.
Hmm.
And it was initially just like a resource. Like all of us get together, we had like Zoom happy hours and talked about what we're doing and and Rita would start setting a few months in, she started saying like, I would love to see this. I would love to do this. I would love to. And
Hmm.
she had her day job too. So she couldn't devote all of the time that she wanted to devote. And what she got laid off with the pandemic and everything, she really started focusing on all of these things. And that's really where everything started happening because, Pavel, just like what you were saying, like you were doing it as a hobby, you couldn't have that time. Same with Rita. She was doing it kind of as a hobby. And what she had the time to really devote to all of the things, I mean, it's just really been amazing to see the 180 of everything in a totally good way, right? Of how
It's
things
kind
have
of where
happened.
I'm at right now as well. Like, I didn't start this as a hobby. I originally in college was in radio, and I made the mistake of changing majors to something that because when you in your household you got to be a lawyer or a doctor
Absolutely.
Mm.
or a teacher or a cop or a respected
Mhm.
respected job.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go up there and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go on stage and tell jokes." They'll be like, "Hey, you don't make money that way." Um, so the pandemic hit, and I was doing live shows, and I was doing a very good job as far as like having 30, 40 people come out watch me do a podcast, and I was like, man, this is
That's
going
a big
good.
deal. That's good.
It's going good. The Riddell episode was one of my biggest. We had to close the bar down. It's too many people.
Wow.
I have to go grab my charger. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Things happen,
Yeah.
and then the
Live.
pandemic hit, and I just was like, if I don't succeed or figure out how to continue to make this content,
Mhm.
being locked up, then I'm not built for this.
Right.
And I was
Yeah.
able
Absolutely.
to book Jesse Torero, and that just solidified it for me. Where I was able to interview some of the people that I've dreamed of. Like I've been a fan of Jesse Torero, and now to be able to have conversations with him and I had him on the show, that solidified it for me to keep going. And then I just wasn't satisfied with Zoom, so I started looking into better ways to produce the product. I went back to school, so it's where I'm at right now. But I need my time. Like Pabel was
Mhm.
talking about, just thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. The ideation
So
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Bill Gates has these reading weeks that he'll go away for 2 weeks to some house on some random wherever the hell it is, and like literally no phone, no nothing for 2 weeks, and he'll just read like tons of books on whatever like it is that he's interested at that time. And I think that's so cool to be like, I'm gonna go read for 2 weeks. I'm gonna
Financial
brainstorm for the
freedom,
next
though.
year.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yep.
Also, he's not a mama, so
Yeah, so
exactly.
you
That
know,
would be nice to just
must be
disappear for 2 weeks.
exactly.
it's
I'll
very
do a
tough.
weekend, please.
Very tough when you're a parent to do this line of work. You know, I got 2 kids now, and it's hard because I've been off for gigs. Like for me to go to, I live in Long Island, so for me to go to the city and do something or do a show, it's pretty hard. You know, I gotta make sure my kids go to sleep, and then it's like an hour and 20 minutes from the city if I was to drive, and then an hour and 20 minutes to come back. Gas is
It's a whole day
expensive,
thing.
and you
You're
know
a good father. That's
the
awesome.
money might not. The money is nothing's ever been about money for me, but it's not enough for me to be like, I need to do this, or I need to go do this show. So that's where I'm at right now. It's interesting you guys brought that up because I literally was thinking about this on the train. I've spoken to Pabel about this. Like, I got an exit plan and a strategy. I'm still working on it, and a couple months away still. I keep pushing that deadline back.
Very close. When I was at my last music industry corporate job making bank, I gave a 4-month notice because I didn't want to chicken out. Because I didn't want to chicken out. In 4 months, it was going to be a year that I was there. I wanted to give him a year. I promised them a year, and I was just like, if I don't do this, I'll chicken out because it was scary. But I did it, and since
they didn't just keep
2006,
offering you money and promoting you. I think I've been promoted.
I was getting for me, it was mental health, but it was really physical health. Like, you know, instead of mental health for Pabel, I was just sick all the time. Like I was working late. Like I could go to any concert, free, all access. And I love music. That's why I got into music. I didn't want to go because it was turning into reminding me of work. It didn't matter if it was like my favorite artist ever. I was like, nah, nope. And that's when I knew. And then I was that's when I had to make a change because I was getting sick. I didn't want to listen to music. I don't want to go to any concerts. And I was like, this is impacting my quality of life.
Right.
So
I always say that, you know, every job, especially as more often, the job that pays the most money has the highest cost of doing the job. And that's why they're paying you the most money. It's like, forget about your health. You don't got to go to the doctor. You don't got to go to the gym. You don't got to eat right. You could keep going on, go. And then you blink your eyes and you're like 40 and you have health problems and you don't even know what your kids look like. And you know, I'm sorry.
You're close, Rick. You're close.
I'm 45, girl. Okay, I'll be 45 in November.
You're not the oldest here. You're not the oldest here.
I literally been to the doctor like 4 times in the last 2 months. I've been promoted so many times, like, so they just keep giving me responsibility and money. So, but I just purchased.
I work in government, so I'm not gonna be rich and work in politics. So I'm always stressed out.
Yeah.
So Jessica, you kind of we're in the same. You know, I work in law enforcement, government, and it's the same thing. But I don't take my work home with me, so this is my release.
I'm the director of communications, so sometimes I have to. Like the president can call me at any time.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's a tough
one. I was
one.
on vacation, and the last day there, a reporter called me, and I was like, "That's the end of my vacation."
Wow.
Last day of my vacation.
I would not allow somebody to violate my. No, you got to wait till I at least get back to my spot. You know,
I don't. I'm sorry.
But I bet you, Rick. I bet you win because you're only a couple of months away. Rick, you're only a couple of months away from leaving and starting your, entrepreneur life. Allegedly. No, it's happening.
Did you tell them?
You're putting it out there right now. But
I'm putting it out. I mean, they know. My office knows about the show. They know about me being in school. I'm actually almost done with school also. So it's nice.
Nice.
It's it's a couple. I'm just exhausted. You know, it's a lot.
So I bet you when you leave, I bet you, if not all of them, a majority of your health issues will be gone. Because it's mental health. You know what I'm saying? It's all connected. So I think that's what's going to happen. I'm excited for you, Rick.
Me too. You got to do your I Quit episode too.
Yes. You got to keep us posted. Give us the updates.
Yeah.
I think I'll do a IG live when I do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
like from the office?
Tearing down
like
the
as
office?
you walk out?
Kicking stuff around like, bam!
Sort of like a Jerry Maguire type of situation.
When you do the A, B, C, D, F, U.
They're going to take you to the courthouse right downstairs.
I feel like everyone in corporate has envisioned themselves quitting. Like, what? Who here wants to give me a good quit scenario that they have in their head that hasn't happened yet?
I didn't have a quit scenario, but I was so unhappy at a job at this other nonprofit that when they were letting me go, they said that it had nothing to do with my work. And this was actually, this fits right into Pabel's stuff. It was, I didn't fit in with the company culture, which was,
that's whack.
Quiet. I was loud. I was talkative.
They basically called you spicy.
Yeah, and literally
they said you spicy. We don't season.
Spicy.
Me falta sazón.
We like shit bland.
They couldn't handle it.
Wow.
And when they said, "Oh, you just don't fit with the company," I said, "You know what? You're right, because you guys are so boring. I can't take it here. You're absolutely right. I don't fit in."
Let me ask you guys something. So my issue is, I'm sorry to cut. My issue is that I love the people I work with, even my boss. Like, they're fantastic human beings. If previously the title that I held before was more of a repetitive type of thing, so that's where a lot of unhappiness came from. But when I got put in a completely different department, and I started running a unit and stuff, things became more fun for me, and I work with some terrific people.
You could be friends with them when you leave. You can have happy hours and
does that Pete, did it weigh in on you, like when you were deucing the company? Like, yo, did you have certain people in there that you were like, yo, I'm really cool with this person makes my day easier here at work, or you were just like, nah, this is all about me? Because that's I work with some great people, so
yeah,
it's kind of like Ritzy said though. Like, I'd rather hang out with them outside of work anyway, though. No matter how much I like them. I mean, even though I like them, like what we did at work was really trauma bond about work. So I'd rather hang out with them outside of work.
Trauma bond.
And I mean, for me, it was more so like the pandemic was a reality check, because it was like a glamorous role in the sense of not even just pay, but like the type of shit that Ritzy was doing, like taking clients out to concerts and shit, like dinners and like flying across the country, all this cool shit, right? But like when the pandemic hit and you strip all that shit away, like tech companies, you hear about it. The best part about it is the office. Motherfuckers was giving breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free. I'm talking about like all that shit, right?
Like your job.
Eggs on the floor.
Exactly.
All of that.
Right.
Yo, I made a skit about this. It's the first thing I ever wrote. You would love it.
Send it to me. But nah, when you strip all that out of the way, you really think about what you do on a daily basis. And it's crazy, right? Because I was signing I was working with like Samsung and AT&T, like huge advertisers. And like I was closing $1 million deals that I didn't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? And like today I signed a speaking engagement for like under $5,000 and I was like jumping, hitting the ceiling. You know what I mean? It's just like it hits different when you build it yourself. And it's something that you really care about.
And when you're gonna see the fruit of your labor, because at the end of the day, you might do that $1 million deal, but you're not getting a cut of that $1 million.
No.
Yeah, I forget who said this. But they said like, wait, this last point is like, if you're not chasing your own dreams, you're chasing someone else's.
Yeah.
Please believe it.
You're helping them chase theirs, essentially.
Yep. When I left,
I will say this, there are some people who don't want to be entrepreneurs. Sorry, Ritzy. And I think we can't discount those people as well, right?
No, not at all.
That don't want to do that. You know, I got back into working for somebody else when I started working in politics. I don't make the big bucks, but I love what I do because I feel like I'm actually making an impact.
That's a different story though.
That,
Like
that matters.
I work for a nonprofit, right? I work for PAL. It's a nonprofit. We basically do after school, and we do
I used to go to the PL.
yeah. So we
Me
do a
too.
ton of programming all across the city of New York, and that was one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had.
Yeah.
But the pay wasn't good though.
Yeah.
So had the pay been what I make now, working for PAL, dream job.
Yeah. Also, though, it doesn't even matter, even if it's not like something fulfilling. Some people are just like completely happy working their boring job and getting their paycheck and go living their
I
life
mean,
outside of their 9 to
that's
5. And
And
they're
sometimes
valid.
they
Everyone's
have an
valid.
amazing
That's valid.
that's their thing.
Everyone
That's
is
working
valid.
worker bee. We need the worker
We
bees.
need
And I have a
that for
friend.
society.
Exactly. I have a friend who's like, I'm a worker bee. This was a bunch of years ago. He's like, I'm a worker bee and I'm okay. I couldn't handle what you have to deal with. And I was like, that makes sense. I go, I can't be in the world if it's not for the worker bees that love to do what, and then can shut it off at the end of the day and do other things and have hobbies and stuff.
Yep.
That's amazing. I wish.
I just like creating too much and seeing things go from the seed and then growing and putting things together. And I feel like if I'm not doing that in any type of space, then I'm not good. Jazz, I have a question. Do we make that phone call to our favorite doctor friend? Is he on the line?
Yeah.
Oh,
He said
okay,
he's
okay.
down.
All right, so I'm gonna let Jazz call him real quick,
Yeah.
and
Let me go call him.
she'll give me the thumbs up when he's available. I got a beautiful surprise for you guys. It's so dope. He's gonna answer. This guy's helped me a ton. He's like my guru. So when I need answers and when I'm feeling like I don't want to do this no more, I want to quit. And Pabel's too busy to even answer my text messages anymore. Or
He big times you?
or some of the. I mean, after he did the effing interview, he's just like, nah, Rick, you want to talk to me? You gotta put yourself on the calendar.
Lies.
So I reached out to this dude.
I'm on your side, Pabel, because I know I could text you and you text me back. I'm on your side.
No, it's a great guy. I'll bring him on and he's gonna help you guys out tremendously. Pete, I think he's got some answers for you. Ritzy, some good sound advice, and for you as well, Jessica. So it's gonna be fun. So you're all part of the network, and how you guys? How would you recommend a fellow podcaster to join the network or continue to go independently or join one of the bigger networks? What would be some advice you would give a fellow newcomer podcaster?
As somebody who's been at the network since go, basically. No, I've totally recommended people. I think the biggest thing is, like I said, I've seen how it's been. I've seen how it started. I've seen how it's changed and evolved. And the fact that if you're a podcaster and you want to monetize, not everybody wants to monetize. Again, that's okay. But the fact that we get the rates that we get, the money that we get,
it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. And I think if you're looking for that and you are really interested in, but the thing is, you have to be committed because, for example, I normally take July off. And I still kind of took July off. I just I'm running like throwback episodes, some of my favorite throwback episodes, and putting the ads in those. But you have to be committed because you can't skip. Like if you're under contract, you can't skip. Our contract with a large beauty brand is about to end at the end of the month, and it started in February. So I could not skip a single week where sometimes I'm like, oh, you know what? This didn't get edited in time, whatever, and I could just skip a week. You can't do that. So you just have to have that commitment because you signed a contract and you have to have that commitment to make sure you're fulfilling what that contract says in order to get paid.
Ritzy and P, and then we'll bring I think my guys here somewhere. Ritzy, what about you? What's a piece of advice you would give
I mean, I just started right when it started, and it's already been super fruitful. But I think more than that, when I started the podcast, this is my third podcast, but when I was trying to find community to like get tips and do all that stuff,
what I was about to.
it's just all, it was white, people, white podcasts or people that I couldn't relate to, and being a part of this network with our monthly town hall meetings and the tips and, from people that have been doing it longer or whatever, or, have a bigger reach, like just you, Rick, doing this for us, hella grateful. I mean, it's because of the network. What Rita's doing and the team is amazing. And yeah, I would definitely recommend, jumping on, because the good thing is when I try to go with another network, I didn't have the numbers. They were kind of rolling like, what? That's your numbers? And the minimum is so high, and we don't even get that exposure as Latinos trying to get the voices out there. And so the fact that we're getting paid for the numbers, like what Rita and her team are doing, is really unheard of in the industry. So I'm hella grateful.
I agree.
And don't you think it's like a big thing in regards to like, we may not have the largest numbers, but the people that listen to us,
quality numbers,
quality numbers for sure.
P, what would be your? I mean, me and P have been on since January, so February, January, March. It's had is besides monetizing. I have like a little community of podcasters I could reach out to and get tips and tricks from. Also have them on the show. It helps with content on those weeks where you have something, but it's not as strong as like having a conversation with other podcasters.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice, P?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, monetizing alone, I think, is obviously a big help. What I would advice-wise, I would say really know your business. And I say that because like, joining a network isn't going to necessarily like solve all your problems. And every network is so different in what they offer. For example, some of them are just monetizing, right? Like they're only going to help you monetize. Some of them are going to help you production. Some of them are just going to provide you with a network where it's like a group chat where you can exchange tips with other people, right? So really trying to really understand like what you want out of the network and be intentional about it. Like if it's just monetizing, cool. If it's something else, like be intentional about what you're looking for, knowing what you need for growth. And unless you have like huge numbers, like I don't think just monetizing on ads itself is going to be life-changing money. Like I wouldn't depend on just advertising for your podcast. There are so many other revenue streams that you can tap into. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Product placement.
I mean, speaking engagements would probably be like, I was like, oops.
All right, so I gotta say, go ahead, P.
Go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like speaking engagements is probably gonna be like 90% of my revenue this year. So
nice.
Damn, I need to join that movement. So I got a surprise for you guys. I like to give people something when they come on the show, So I called in one of my good friends, Dr. G.
Yo, word up.
Finally made it. Dr. G, thank you for coming back.
Big gangsters in the house all day. Thanks for having me, Rick.
I appreciate you being back on the show.
Word up.
So a couple of friends of mine's here, Ritzy, Pabel, and Jessica are here. They're all fellow podcasters, but each one has different. They're at different journeys in their podcasting journeys, and they have different questions. Let's start with Pabel because I think he's gonna get some very sound advice from. So your man was had a good job. I'm not even gonna lie to you, Dr. G.
Making them dollars, you making bank?
Yeah, and he could have made it rain at the strip club.
Oh, snap!
But he quit.
What you do that for?
I'll let Pabel answer.
I wanted to run a podcast.
Podcast ain't bringing in the shorties, son. The chats was bringing in the shorties. Feel me?
Okay. You see? So he left a very lucrative job, he published his salary, right? He did it for equal pay, which I thought was very commendable. Would you do something like that, Dr. G? I mean, you making bank right now.
I'm making bank. You know, being a psychologist, I can charge whatever I want. You come in, you looking bougie, $1,000 an hour. Give me that stat, you know. But you come in, you looking a little rocky, you know. I might cut you a little deal, $100.
Okay, so P's at an impasse right now. You know, he quit the job. He talked about it previously. He thinks about applying again, or he thinks about going back. What advice could Dr. G? I mean, Dr. G's gonna tell you to go back because
my advice, my advice is only go forward, son. Only go forward. If you made that choice for no shorties, now you got to get your own money to go back to them clubs. You feel me? That's on you, my dude. That's on you. Word up.
It's a good point.
Oh man,
ain't no going back.
Ain't no going back.
Ain't no going back.
Pabel, do you have a question for Dr. G? Something you might ask for some advice?
I mean, I just got to go forward. You know what I mean?
Speechless.
Like, I get it.
He got it. He got it. Speechless.
He's going into the speaking engagement business, by the way, Dr. G. You do tons of talks. Is there a piece of advice you could give, Pabel?
Yo, just make sure you got your card ready with your information. So at the end of that engagement, you get that number out. You heard? Word up, word up. You can't throw the dollars no more, but you could throw that number. You know, they're going to see you on that stage. Be like, yo, my man's important, son. You got to roll up.
Throwing cards, not dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, you already know.
So we have also Jessica from Wine Chisme Podcast. Jessica, do you have a question you would like to ask our Dr. G? Something that's going to benefit you and really help you in your pod?
You know, I'm just listening and I am speechless as well. I don't even, I'm just listening to the words that are coming out from Dr. G, and it's very hard to, I just don't even know.
Dr. G, give us something.
Know where to start.
She don't know where to start. My advice is get a book, read it, ask me a question. You know? But I do like wine. And I like cheese man too. So if you got some tea, spill it.
I mean, J-Lo getting married is cheese man.
J-Lo getting married is cheese man.
J-Lo getting married?
It was
Vegas.
I hate when people give cheese man out and they give the wrong cheese man. You gotta give the right cheese man.
Oh, so give it to me, Jessica.
Anything, like I hear stuff on the radio that the radio people do, and then I'm like, that wasn't even right. That's not their name. That's not who they were with. I'm just a natural chismosa.
Damn.
And
I ain't telling you no secrets.
I
ain't telling you nothing. But I give you some cheese, man. Me and J-Lo.
But I'm a good secret keeper.
Dr. G and J-Lo? Really?
Wow.
Used to kick it.
Really?
Word up.
Wow.
She ain't gonna tell you that, but she was falling for the gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't work out?
Why?
It ain't work. I had to cut that loose. I know.
So she would have had more engagement rings, or were you at that point?
That's the big cheese man right there.
You know, that is the big cheese man. You know, nobody dumps J-Lo, but you know, she was real needy, and you know, I'm for the streets. For the streets.
Okay.
She didn't want me to be in these streets, to let her go.
Ritzy, do you have some questions for our therapist, our local therapist?
Yes, Dr. G, how do I navigate shady people in the industry?
Step one, you look them dead in the eye. Say, who you talking to? All right. If you think they throwing shade and they do that, you already know they softs. You won. And then from then on out, you just let them know I'm hip to your shit. You feel me? I'm hip to your shit. Don't be shading me. And you always gotta have a comeback.
Wow. Thank you.
Wow.
I appreciate it.
Got you.
Solid.
You could also just call me, you know, I'll come over and beat their ass, you know?
I want to thank Dr. G.
You're welcome.
Always gives us some very good sound advice. I've been seeing Dr. G for a couple months now, and my life has definitely improved. Thank you, Dr. G. Appreciate it.
I could tell. Good. I was wondering what it was. Now I know.
Now we
Yeah.
know.
Now you know.
Only
I gotta
thing
show you
is-
my business card.
Secret.
Yeah, the only
I
thing
know
is,
you got speaking engagements. Now I'm gonna do $1,000.
he keep taking me to the strip club after our sessions. I mean, that's the only issue, you know. And I might
That's
not.
just me looking out for you. You know, you be
Man.
crying on the chair. I gotta help cheer you up. You know, no, yo, put them tears away, son. You soft. Let's go to the club.
Dr. G, are you tossing dollars or hundreds or what
Oh.
bills are you tossing at the strip club?
You know, straight hundreds.
Other people.
Straight
Of
hundreds.
course.
Straight hundreds. And
Other
whatever I
people's
made,
money.
whatever I made that day, if it's a good day, I throw it all out. You know, I got a bunch more. You know.
Pabel's hundreds from his
Wow.
1,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow, Dr. G, thanks again for coming on the
Thank you
pod.
for having me.
I
Always, you
appreciate
already
you
know.
as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
To amaze me. Some very sound advice there. I did call Ricky Smooth, and he's gonna send a personal message to each one of you.
I can't wait.
Thanking you for being on the show. He's been having a tough time lately. The Roe versus Wade thing, because he's all about love. So he's heartbroken on the island, and he's trying to figure out how he can help overcome. But you know, he'll be back. He'll be back. So when does
that's how you make the best albums after heartbreak?
Oh yeah, he's
we're
in
not
it right
just
now.
Crazy good music right now.
He's in it right now. He's actually. Hold on, now that I put that mentioned it. Damn, I should have had this ready, but he got some heat. He sent me something earlier. Shit, Pabel caught me off guard. He really did. But yeah, he
could wait till next time.
He sent me some tracks. You know, I would love to always have you guys back on the pod. Jazz, what's up, bro? Why you always jumping off the screen?
I'm sorry, I had to take a quick
You
phone
missed
call.
Dr. G.
Again.
Yo, I stay missing him. He's a hot mess. What did he say this time?
He was looking for you. What do you and Dr. G got something going on? I'm gonna have to call up Brian.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dr. G wishes, okay? He's too toxic. I ain't about that life.
He gave Pabel some dope advice. So
word?
Dropping
Better
gems.
listen to it.
So thank you for being on the pod, each and every one of you. I say this to many people. Well, Pabel knows it's not the first. It's the first time, but it's not the last time that you'll be on the show. Welcome to the family. When can I catch Word to Your Mother? Word to Your Mama?
Every Monday. I drop it at midnight the night before. So every Monday. And you can go to WTYMAAMA on all socials and wordtoyourmama.com.
And on Good Pods in the Latina Podcasters group. Quien, Eres? Like, what's up? I heard Rick H is gonna be on the show soon. So when that
I might have to wait for you to quit so you can tell me the real truth about your job.
Oh my God! You know what? I literally would do that, and I would also like do the video and all the extra content, so to make it like a real big thing. So yeah.
Let's do it.
When can we catch Quien Eres? What's your day? My day's Tuesday. Ritzy's on Mondays. What's your day, P?
Every Tuesday and every Tuesday morning.
Ooh.
Yeah. Episodes are pre-recorded. We're gonna start launching additional content. I'm just not sure what day of the week it's gonna be. We're gonna start doing a live show. Not Tuesday, but it's gonna be like a separate. It's not gonna be the typical Quien Eres show. It's gonna be more of like a career day for adults. But it'll be launching soon.
Very cool.
And Jessica, when's your day? Your Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday?
Wine and Chisme Wednesdays, baby.
Wednesday, Wine Down Wednesdays. That goes perfect.
Monday,
yes,
Tuesday,
Wine and Chisme Wednesday. And then, new episode drops. I'm actually going to probably be adding another like short episode specifically focusing on wine. Like one wine. I haven't decided what day that's gonna drop or like what day I want to do it, but it'll be just like a mini 15
I got you
minute.
right now. If you don't have the name, I got you right now. Wine by the Glass.
Oh,
There it is.
If you're
That's
doing
good.
one specific bottle, one specific Wine by the Glass, a Chisme short.
Yeah, I like that.
They
I
are
like that. Yo, look at Rick, full of ideas.
Thank you. I'm taking that. I'm running with it.
Brain works
Wine by the
sometime, you know.
Glass.
When I was
No,
allowed
and
to
you can
think.
hit up sponsors. Be like, yo, do you want me to throw your
think
wine
she-
up on this?
You do
I
that
have
now, right?
Huh?
You do that right now, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
I have lots and lots of free wine. I still buy
party.
wine, but I have lots and lots of wine. I need to get a larger wine refrigerator, a whole lot. Like my area that I'm looking at right now, there's a box that has half a case of wine because it doesn't fit in my area because I have so much. I probably have like 40 to 50 bottles of wine right now.
All right.
Wow.
Don't get me jealous over here.
Jessica, you got to do a Wine Out Wednesday, like a live event, Wine Out Wednesday, presented by Wine Chisme, like at a spot, Wine Out Wednesday, and just
There, look at that.
Yeah,
Yo, full
the
of
plan
ideas.
was I wanted to do something this year, but with everything happening, I just wasn't able to. So plan is next year, 2022, to be able to go a couple of things. But hopefully I can meet up with you guys for a glass of wine while I'm in New York.
Oh, I was just about to say that you're coming to New York, so feel free to bring a bottle.
So I am gonna do a last year Crazy and I put on the podcast panel. I'm gonna do it again. So it's gonna be in October. I'm starting that now. And I'm gonna be announcing that soon. So I think live events is something I want to go back to.
Yes.
I love doing
we gotta
live
we
events.
gotta offline chat that because I got ideas.
You got ideas? Okay. I mean, I got a big venue in mind, and it kind of scares me, but it gets me excited at the same time.
No.
That means you should definitely do it if it scares you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Time to sell
Thank
out.
you so much for having us.
Yes.
Word.
This has
Thank
been
you.
awesome.
Thank you, guys. This is the first round of the crossover episodes. I'm gonna be doing a ton of more of these, you know, with Her Dinero Matters. My guys from the Men on Pause podcast. Every time I do something with Jerry, man, I always get shit for saying that's the name of their pod. The Men on Pod podcast. My boys at the Hip Hop Advocates. So I want to do a lot more of these with the network and some crossover episodes. So this was just first of many. Like I said, Pabel's been here. This is the second time now. And this won't be Ritzy's last time. This won't be Jessica's last time.
And I would also love to have Rick and Jasmine on separately, your own episode, so we could find out about you and everything. If you know, I'm putting it out there right now. And live.
Laura said.
Jasmine's more entertaining than me. She's a stand-up comedian, a writer, a sketch comic.
Dancer, I see.
Dancer as well. She actually started out as that. I know. Try to tell some jokes sometimes, and I do this pod, but I would love to anytime.
Perfect.
I'm gonna DM you guys right after this.
Yeah. And when I quit my job, I'll be on Quien, Eres.
Yeah.
Season 10.
You're gonna be on Chisme too. Like, let me tell you about this job.
Yeah, I really want that Chisme. Mm-hmm.
So follow them all on Instagram. Pabel is at Plural. His is on his name right now. Ritzy's is WTYMAMA.
Yeah, YTY WYTY Mama.
Okay, and Jessica's is at
the Wine
Chisme. You see
the Wine Chisme, because there's another one that's at Wine Chisme, but I'm the Wine Chisme, the one that
put some respect on it.
Mic drop. That's it.
I want to thank you all again. Episode is already up because we live streamed.
Oh, excuse.
and the clips will be emailed. I promise I will cut up clips because I've been slacking on that.
We've been slacking.
Big time. Thanks again. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you.
You feel that now? I feel like Rocky in this one, baby. Let's go. Alright, check it. Blast from the past, back from the future. So if I pull the trigger in the past, know you in your future. I'm still hustling, still hugging the block. The referee to the shit, I'm still calling them shots. I can't be stopped. That's what I told you. I'm living my life like a box of Crayolas. I'm cutting up white, smoking that green. Purple color pens, I'm still making this cream. I'm so sick, check my throat quick. My wrist light up a room like a handful of glow stick. I'm like spoiled milk, the kids gone bad. Then it's the minutes my pen touches the pad. Niggas is mad, but the ladies is glad. Yo, they rubbing up against me like this nigga is rad. Fucking two divas, drinking on sangria. I got the beam of the color diarrhea. Tire strings to my feet cause I'm so fly. Hopped out the DeLorean, it's Artie McFly.